Journey to Alicorn, Chapter 6, A Royal Visit to the Bay. 1 month has passed since Sunny and her friends had returned home from Skyros. Things have returned back to their normal. Sunny wrote a book of Skyros and its history thanks to some history books from Skyros that was given to her as a gift from King Arbor. King Arbor gave her the books, which she was happy about. Sip was also happy since she encountered Glim often in a video call almost every day. Even she wished that she could see him directly though. Morning, Hitch. Morning, Sonny. Can you go get the morning's paper? Of course, I can get it. Hitch went to get the morning paper, but when he got there, he got a big surprise by the door. Sonny, can you come here for a moment? I'm coming. But when she got to the door, she got this surprise. Cause there was some pony standing there they didn't expect to see. Garnet Gleam? Why are you here? I'm here for a surprise visit. You did surprise me and Sonny. Then Hitch thought something and looked at Garnet. Do your dad knows you're here? Yes, he knows that I'm here. Does Sip knows you're here? No, I haven't told her, but I want to surprise her. She will be surprised, I can tell. Come in, and we will surprise her. Garnet followed them into the kitchen. They told him to wait in the kitchen. Hitch came up with an idea and told Garnet it. And he liked it. Soon the others came downstairs. They were standing in the kitchen waiting for Sunny to finish the pancakes. Morning, girls. Morning, Sunny, said Pip. Breakfast ready soon? Asked Issy. Yes, it's almost ready. You're reading something special in the morning's paper, Hitch? I'm not reading the newspaper. Suddenly, Hitch walked into the kitchen from the living room. Then the others looked at him and the morning's paper by the counter. It was some pony holding it. If it's not Hitch, then who is holding the morning paper? Asked Sip. Perhaps it's some pony you all know, said Garniclem. The others went complete in silence. They didn't expect a voice behind the morning paper. At first they tried to figure out who it was behind it. Is it you, Sprout? Nope. Guess again. Wait a minute, said Misty. You think you know who it is? Asked Pip. I have a feeling. Is it you? Garnet Glim? The room went silent again. You're so right about that. Garnet then put down the morning paper on the counter and smiled at them. Sip looked at him with big eyes, and the others were stunned too. Garnet Glim? When did you arrive? Right this morning, actually. Did you know all about this? No, Sip. I had no idea about this, said Pip. No pony didn't know about this, that he was coming. Me and Sunny were shocked that he stood by the door and that he arrived this morning, said Hitch. Aren't you happy to see me, though? Asked Garnet Glim. Of course I'm happy to see you. With that, Sip rushed up to Garnet Glim and hugged him tightly and even cried. She was so happy to see him. Sunny asked if Garnet wanted to join him for breakfast. He told Sunny that he would like that. He joined them by the table and they started talking and enjoyed the breakfast. Sip sat next to Garnet, of course. How long are you going to stay? Asked Hitch. I'm going to stay for a while. I haven't decided exactly how long yet. Your dad, King Arbor, is okay with that, though? He's okay with it. Though he wasn't happy about it first, but eventually agreed. I promised to call him quite often just to keep him informed and let him know I'm doing well. I believe it's a good idea too, said Issy. The others nodded and they continued to enjoy the breakfast. Sunny had allowed for Garnet to use the guest room, which he appreciated. He later left the Bright House after breakfast and went back to his boat and to the beach to get his bags. He later went back to the Bright House and unpacked his things in the guest room. He was quite excited, and while he was unpacking, he heard a knock on the door. "Come in. Is the room good for you?" asked Zip. "Yes, it's actually nice. After you've done that, how about I show you around the Maritime Bay?" "Now that sounds like a good idea. I'm quite interested to see me around." Both Garnet and Zip left the Bright House and walked into town. Ponies looked and they saw Garnet, that they could see it was a male alicorn. Ponies in Maritime Bay were already aware of male alicorns in Skyros. Some even walked up to them and said hello to Garnet. He greeted them back, and he had a good time and Zip showed him around the town to the movie theater, the library, and even the sheriff's station. "Hello, Zip. Garnet. How can I help you two?" "I'm just showing Garnet around in town. It's a smaller compared to my own town." "It's a small town, but you will like it here." "I'm already enjoying it here, though." "We should get going. There's a lot more to show." Garnet nodded and they said goodbye to Hitch and they walked around. After a while, they stopped by Sunny's smoothie truck to get something to drink. "What would you like to order?" "I think I'd take a mango watermelon smoothie." "I'd take an orange smoothie." "Two smoothies are coming right up." They both watched how Sunny worked to make the smoothies, and soon she get into them and they pay for them. Garnet Glim said, "Oh gosh, it's a real good smoothie." "Thanks. I appreciate you like my work. Sunny smoothies are all truly amazing, aren't they?" "Oh yes, that's for sure." After they finished their smoothies, Zip thought to how to go to see Pip's place to see how she was doing. When they got there, both Rocky and Jazz were quite excited to see a male alicorn. "Are you two coming for any main style?" "No, I'm just showing Garnet Glim around, and I thought showing your business. It's a nice place, though I wouldn't mind a trim of my mane, though." Both Jazz and Pip heard it, promised they would give him a good style. And they took him to the mirror, where he could choose his own style. "I will be stepping outside for a moment. I got a text from Mom." "Don't worry, Garnet Glim in a good hoops," said Pip. Zip stepped outside and called her mom, Haven, on the phone. "Hey Mom, I got your text, and you want something?" "Hey Zip, yes, your sister told me your boyfriend is in Maritime Bay for a visit." "Yes, he actually is, and he's getting a main style right now." "I wanted to ask you if you and Garnet Glim were to come over to Zephyr Heights for dinner. Your sister knows about it, and she will be there too." "I don't see no reason for it. And when you had in mind for dinner, how about tomorrow evening?" "I think that can work for me." "Excellent. Well, tell him hi for me and tell him about it." "I will, but I have to ask, is it a formal dinner?" "No, I thought more like a casual dinner, just the four of us." "All right, I will tell him. So, see you later, Mom." After they ended the call, Zip walked back in main melody and saw that Jazz and Rocky were finished with Garnet Glim. "What do you think, Zip?" Rocky asked. "I think it looks pretty cool. Good on him." Only good work, as always. Thanks, Sip. Be are glad you like it, said Jazz. After Sip and Garnet left it, they walked around together. Sip informed Garnet about the dinner tomorrow. He told her that he will be looking forward to it. He was quite excited to meet Sip's mom for the first time since Sip had already met his dad, King Arbor. Sip suggested they could go to the beach to relax a little there. Garnet thought that it could be a good idea. As they arrived at the beach, there were some ponies already there playing in the sand or swimming in the water. While they were sitting there on the beach, Sip leaned against Garnet's shoulder. This is a good spot. I know, right? I often come here to relax or just enjoy the day. Reminds me a bit of a home, too. Must be different to be compared to Skyrels. Oh, for sure. But I like it here. And if I could stay here I would be here forever. I know you're joking about it. Actually, I won't joke about it though. Sip looked at him with a curious look. But what about the throne in Skyrels? My younger brother Starrush could take over the throne. He is in the third in line. You don't think your dad would get mad at you if you don't return back to Skyrels? No, he wouldn't. He would understand that I'm following my heart, what it tells me to do. Garner looked out at the water as he threw a small stone in the water. You see, when my parents were younger, my dad fell in love with my mom, who was a unicorn, and even his parents approved it since he listened to his heart. Sip was speechless for a moment about it. She didn't argue back to him since she did the same when she decided to be with Garnet Glim. I think it's just a noble choice. I think your dad would understand too. Yes, he will understand about it. Meantime, at the set on the beach, Sunny had returned home. She found Hitch already back with Misty and Issy playing cards together in the living room. Hey Sunny, how was work? It was fulfilling as always. What are you two free playing? We are playing Go Fishing, said Issy. You want to join us? Said Misty. Sure, let me get something to drink first. Sunny went to the kitchen to grab a glass of water, and joined her friends and sat next to them and played with them. A little later, Pip came home and she laid on the couch. Tough day at the saloon? Asked Sunny. Yes, there was a lot of customers after lunchtime. I saw that Sip and Garnet left your saloon earlier today. Yes, Garnet Glen got a mean cut from us, and it was a good choice. You know, what to give them the customers want. That's right. Where are they now, though? Asked Pip. No idea. They hadn't even returned home yet, said Misty. I'm sure they enjoyed the day together, said Issy, considering they haven't seen each other for a month. Pip nodded and thought that Hitch was right about it. Later, around at sunset, they were about to go down. Sip and Garnet returned back to the Bright House. There you are. Where have you been? Asked Pip. Sorry, I showed them around and we went to the beach and later taught Kate to play some games. As long as you have fun and came home safe, that's all that matters. You're right, Sonny, said Pip. Garnet went to his guest room to relax a little bit, while Sip joined her friends to play some games. Sonny were making dinner for them all. While they were doing that, Garnet Glim called his dad, King Arbor, back in Skyrels. Hello, son. How is it in Equestria? It's amazing here, Dad. I really like it here so much. I'm glad to hear that. that you're having a good time, and your brother misses you as well, but he knows you're happy. Tell him that I miss him. I will, but there's something else on your mind, isn't it? It was silent for a brief moment before Garnet replied back to his dad's question. Yes, actually, there is. You want to stay in Equestria and be with your beloved, is that correct? Yes, it's right, Dad. I want to stay here. I like it here. And Zip is the one for me. Garnet, I'm not against you staying there. Just remember, you have your family here too. Yes, I know that. And tell Starrush he will be a good future king. I will tell him that. And before I end the call, I want to tell you something. What is it, Dad? Your mom would be so proud of you. She would accept this choice too. I know that. I know that. But I will talk to you later. With that, they ended the call. Garnet walked downstairs and joined the others playing some games before dinner. He had a good time. When Sonny later said dinner was ready, every opponent joined by the table. So, Garnet, what do you think of Maritime Bay? I think it's a cozy small town. I have something to tell you all. I talked to my dad earlier, and he was okay with me staying here forever. That's great news. Even I had a feeling that he would allow you, said Zip. Yes, I'm glad that he would be able to that I'm able to stay here. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you that Garnet, you and I have the dinner with my mom later tomorrow. Pip will also be there. Oh right. I almost forgot myself. Will it be a formal dinner? No, it's gonna be a casual dinner, said Pip. Alright, but looking forward to it though. I want to get to know your mom too. They were enjoying the dinner that Sunny had made, and the others asked Garnet more what he thought about Maritime Bay so far. They were having a good time, enjoying the small town and its much. After dinner, he sat with Zip on the couch, relaxing, with her laying against his shoulder. The others sat on the floor playing with cards or chess rest of the evening. By 10 p.m., they chose to get some sleep since it had been a long day. But Garnicleum and Zip stayed behind a bit longer before they went to bed. I'm really happy that you came to see me. It feels like a dream. I hope it isn't a dream. Garner stroked his hoof in Zip's mane and he smiled at her. No, this isn't even a dream. It's real. I promise you that. I will never let you go from my hoofs, said Zip. I will never let you go either, since you are the most amazing and important to me. With that, Zip looked at Garnet and they shared a kiss, and her friends could see it from upstairs and they smiled. I'm so jealous at her, but at the same time, I'm really happy that she found somebody that to be with, said Pip. I'm just glad to see that she is happy. She really deserves that, after all. How much she done for us, said Hitch. You're so right about that, Hitch, said Misty. Come, let us let the little them alone and let us go to bed, said Pip. I think it's a good idea. Anyway, it has been a long day, said Sunny. The others nodded and went to bed. Not long after, Zip lay down in her bed and Garnet laid in his guest room. As he laid in bed, he looked into the ceiling and smiled. I am so happy to have her in my life. She is the right one for me. With that, he fell asleep, and he was smiling in his sleep. The next morning, as the others woke up of food cooking, somebody is cooking breakfast, but who is it? It's not me, said Hitch. Everybody's up here, said Pip. They slowly got downstairs and found Garnet in the kitchen preparing breakfast while he was humming a song for himself. He was using his magic to levitate plates on the table. He suddenly noticed them behind, standing in the living room watching him. Morning. I hope I you didn't mind I was cooking something for all of you for breakfast. Not at all, Garnet. It smells really good, said Sunny. Thanks. I am glad you like the smell. How did you learn to cook? Well, the kitchen chef taught me some basic meals for lunch, breakfast, and I thought, like, why not making something for my new friends and girlfriend? That's also thoughtful of you, Garnet, said Sunny. Yes, it's really sweet of you, said Zip. Thanks. Breakfast is almost ready, so you can sit down, and it should be ready in a moment. They all sat down, and shortly Garnet gave them blueberry pancakes and fresh baked bread too. He joined in next to Zip. This full grain bread is really good. I just say it's truly good, even for Sparky likes it. They saw that Sparky couldn't get enough of the full grain bread for breakfast. They laughed, and Zip looked at Garniclean with a smile, and he even gave his cheek a kiss. He smiled and thanked them for the compliments. He appreciated the positive feedback for his breakfast. He said that he could make lunch for them too, if they wanted, unless they had work to do. Sunny said that they could come back to the Bright House for lunch, and the others said the same thing. Garniclean smiled and said that he will prepare something extra good for them for lunch. After breakfast, Garnet took care of the dishes while the others prepared to go for work. Even Zip stayed a little bit longer at home to help Garnet, even when he told her that she didn't have to help him since he got it. After they finished, he gave Zip a kiss, and when she was about to leave. I will see you around lunch, said Zip. Yes, and I haven't forgotten dinner with you, Mom, later tonight. Good to know, and I will see you later. With that, they waved goodbye to each other. Zip had left. Garnet took care of the cleaning of the Bright House. He knew it was a lot, but he wasn't giving up the challenge, and he thought it was the least he could do for them for letting him stay in Bright House. The cleaning took about 2 hours. After it was done, he sat in the living room couch to relax. It wasn't until an hour later, around before lunch, when he got up and prepared the lasagna for his friends and Zip as lunch. As just before lunch was finished, he heard the others coming back home. Gosh, it smells makes me so even more hungrier, said Sunny. You're not kidding, the smell makes my mind spinning. It reminds me of my grandma Figgy's cooking. It just bringing some old memories back. Lasagna is one of my favorites, said Zip. It smells so good. They all sat down by the table and started enjoying the lunch. As they took a bite from the lasagna, oh goodness, this is so good, said Zip. How did you make it so good? Asked Sunny. It's one of my late mom's recipes. The room went silent when Connor said that. Even my late mom was the queen, but she loved to spend time in the castle kitchen to cook. It taught me a lot of it. That must be so sweet of her. Those memories are something that you could to cherish too, said Zip. Yes, I will never forget her for anything, and I appreciate her for teaching me. She was a good mom, said Sunny. Garnet nodded. and they all went back to enjoy the lunch together. After lunch, they sat there by the table, relaxed a little bit. Garnet, you really made an excellent lunch for us, said Sunny. Thanks. I appreciate it. After the after the others had left, he took care of the dishes. After he had done, he left the bright house to take a walk on his own to enjoy the nice day. He walked around along the main street, greeted some by ponies, and he talked to them for a bit. When he dropped by the main melody, "Hey, Garnet! What can I do for you?" asked Rocky. "Oh, I'm just here to take a look around, that's all. If you need something, just let us know," said Jazz. "Of course." Garnet walked around and looked on the posters and even small talk with Pip. He wanted to know more about her mom, what to expect about when he got with her and saved to Zephyr Heights. She told him that her mom can be quite excited, talkative, but he told her that he didn't mind that at all. After that, he left the saloon and walked around in town. When he went to Sunny's smoothies truck and bought a mango smoothie. He was talking to her since she didn't have any other customers at the moment. They had become good friends. "How is Mirtan Bay treating you so far?" asked Sunny. "It's been treating me quite well. Every pony here is so kind and friendly." Later in the afternoon, both Pip and Zip arrived home and they found Garnet on the couch, napping. "Hey, Garnet, are you awake?" "What? Yes, I'm awake. We're leaving for Zephyr Heights shortly. Let me fresh up a little bit in the bathroom. I will join you shortly." Garnet Glenn went to the bathroom to freshen up a bit before leaving Bright House. He went to the mere stream outside. They flew over to Zephyr Heights and they landed outside the palace. There, they were greeted by two guards, who took them to the dining hall. Garnet looked around in the hallway. He wasn't even nervous. More opposite. He had more interest of the place. He could see some similarity to Zephyr Heights to his own city of Alonius. Soon they arrived in the dining hall. "Hey girls, welcome, and welcome Garnet Gleam. It's nice to finally meet you." "Likewise, Queen Haven." "Please, just call me Haven instead." "I can do that. Now, let us enjoy our dinner." They all sat down by the table and soon the servants came with the food and they started talking and enjoying food. "How do you think of Zephyr Heights so far?" asked Haven. "It do remind me of my home, actually." "I'm glad you like our kingdom. I'm sure my daughter has been good to you." "Mom, please, don't embarrass me so much already." It's fine, Zip. Yes, she has been good to me. She has been so kind to show me around in Maritime Bay. I'm sure she's eager to show me around in even your kingdom too. I can do that tomorrow if you want to stay here for tonight. I think I can stay here tonight. Is that decided? You will like it here, said Haven. They continued their dinner, and Haven asked Garnet some more questions about Skyros and himself. And he was having a good time too. After dinner, they sat in the library to relax, and Haven could see how happy Zip were with Garnet. Later, Zip showed Garnet to his guest room, and he thanked her and they shared one goodnight kiss. Not long after that, Garnet lay down in bed. He fell asleep. But the next day, Zip took Garnet Glam to show him around in town after breakfast. He was excited. Even Zip was thrilled to show him around in town, and they had a good time together. They had a lunch together at a restaurant, and in the afternoon, even when it was time to go home, back to Merton Bay, Zip said goodbye to her mom, and he even said goodbye and said to Garnet that he is welcome back to Zephyr Heights at any time. Your mom is unique, but I like her. My mom can be a bit overexcited to do things, said Zip. That's an understatement, Zip, said Pip. They all laughed after they returned home. Pip went to her saloon. Zip did some things on her own. Garnet chose to take a walk. While he was walking, he was thinking of something when he heard a voice behind him. Hey, Garnet, how was it for Heights? It was an interesting place. Yes, it was from me too when I got there first time, said Hitch. Is something on your mind? Hitch could tell something was on Garnet's mind. It's that me and Zip have been dating just for about a month. I have thought of something. Whatever it is, you can tell me. I'm your friend. I'm planning to propose to Zip soon. Hitch was quite surprised, but he smiled at Garnet. I think she will say yes, though without a doubt. Thanks. I'm just waiting for the right moment to do it. You got a ring yet, though, for her? No, not yet. But I will get one soon for her. Well, go for it when you're ready to do it. It will go well. Thanks. I'll think about it, though. With that, Hitch said that he had to continue his patrol, and he left. Garnet nodded. Garnet stood there and wondered when he would be proposing to Zip. But he knows that Hitch is right. He has to wait for the right moment. Garnet smiled and looked up at the sky and smiled and said to himself, that is going to go well.